Connection with Shade Network activated. Audio file download commencing. Files marked extremely sensitive. Strategic Homeland Division only. Agent, commencing transmission.
What's up, agents? You're listening to episode 183 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of the Division 2. This week, Kenley College is back, and we get news on what's happening with the state of the game. But first, my name is Mike, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Robert.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hi.
Hi, guys. I hope you guys and our listeners have had a great week, and welcome to any new listeners of the show. First up, what have we been up to, lads? Awkward pause. Go for it.
We raided again.
We did. Did we do better than last time?
Yes. It was quite a successful run, apart from when we got to the Razorback. Kind of went to shit then.
Yeah, but we were teaching somebody the mechanics, so that was allowed. Shout out to Angry Chef Guy.
Yeah, it was Angry Chef.
Oh my god, have you both forgot already?
That was like 2 weeks ago for me.
2 weeks. It's like 4 days, you fucking exaggerator.
I thought Monday was Friday.
Oh, wow.
I was
you're in for a bad week, dude.
Yeah, because I had Tuesday off work, and I went in today, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I said to these guys on Friday, and I was like, that wasn't Friday, that was Monday. Hold on a minute.
You know, if you think that Monday is Friday, by the time you actually get to Friday, are you in the year 2020? Have you jumped that far forward?
What?
Is every day a week for you?
See, Rob gets it. You're just obviously tired and confused and being a bit special today.
Welcome to the Mike Gets Berated podcast. Joining me today are my co-hosts, Robert.
I've already said hello. I'll do it again.
You lazy shit.
To be fair, I was just expecting to go,
no.
Yes. Yeah. We've raided. We did Roosevelt Island on heroic. Gonna be honest, bit disappointed with the difficulty there, and not anywhere near as good as the zoo and tidal basin. I don't think anyway. I don't know what you guys think about it.
I'd agree with that.
Rob?
Yeah.
And then you guys did like a load of heroics with our Mexican friend in the States.
I don't know about a load. We did a couple.
Me and Luke were halfway through two-manning the heroic tidal basin, and Boris joined us.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go back to that. You know that, right, Rob?
Yeah, we need to do that. I think it's doable.
Tune in next week for episode 184 to find out if the lads actually do it.
Well, we almost didn't do that zoo one, did we? So, yeah, we almost failed that one. And I think pretty much just been tweaking builds this week. I know you guys have been getting quite a bit of loot Monday. I wasn't about Monday night because I went to see the Midnight in Bristol. Yay, fuck Bristol. I'm just going to say that.
I don't know, how many times have you been there this year? Quite a few.
Too many.
Like 4?
Too many. No, it was good. The only thing is I was going to find the venue, and I didn't realize that it was smack bang in the town center, where Tesco's is, where we all went to get a drink, and then Rob was feeling sick, or someone was feeling sick outside. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. After the
VR thing.
The VR racing, yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So I was like, I swear I've been down here before. Wait a minute. I even went past that Warhammer place as well, where we were like, fucking nerds. It says us three all together on a fucking getaway in Bristol because of a podcast about a freaking video game, but there we go. But yeah, how was the loot and shoot on Monday?
We farmed a lot of Heraldry.
We did. Many, many good rolls were had.
Yes. Many.
Okay. And last night, we couldn't wait to do it. We jumped on, obviously, after the reset, as Kenley College is back. And we'll probably talk a bit more about it later on, because there's been a few adjustments to it. But I hear you guys have some thoughts. Well, I'm going to probably say Luke has some thoughts. Rob's got probably one word.
I was so excited to do this. Like, my
No, you
enthusiasm was like
no, you fucking weren't.
up here.
Okay, what was the first reason you didn't want to go play it?
It wasn't targeted loot.
Okay.
Which does seem like an opportunity missed, in fairness.
Yeah.
I understand why the raid isn't, but why the fuck isn't Kenley College targeted loot? But whatever.
I'm guessing the same reason that we haven't had a modifier change. Something they wanted to do but never got actually done. Don't know. Luke.
Hi.
What did you think of going back to Kenley College?
I don't think I've been that bored in a long time. I really didn't enjoy it. I don't remember it being that tedious last time I did it, but that was fucking boring last night. So yeah, I won't be going back there in a rush.
Yeah, see, I played it the other, 2 weeks ago. I was like, I quite like this modifier. I don't know if it was the fact of me playing it on my own. Maybe that was what was fun about it, and trying to beat the timer on my own. But there's nothing worse. It's like trying to drag two kids to the shops or to do something that neither of them want to do.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. To be fair, after you talked it up last week, or whenever it was last time you played it, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I was quite looking forward to trying the modifier, and I thought this might be quite good. It might be a bit like a GE, get a load of loot from it, somewhat challenging content, because obviously we don't have to do it on story mode anymore. We can set it to challenging level or whatever the highest level it could be. I just got really bored really quickly, and then once you're bored of something, it has to be quite special to win you back round again, doesn't it? So just never got there. I don't know, it just seemed like run to this area, shoot these guys, press this button, run back to the area you were before, wait for something, timer stops, right, run back to where you were before, get lost on the way, find somewhere else, shoot something, press some buttons, go back to the bit you were before, timer stops, press a button, timer starts. It just really just seemed quite monotonous. And I've really enjoyed playing the game this week as well. Like, me and Rob have been playing nearly every night, and targeted loot, heroics, bit of DZ here and there. It has been actually quite enjoyable this week. But yeah, you'll have to drag me kicking and screaming back into Kenley College.
Do you think they should have rotated the exotic in there? In Kenley College from completing it all? Because at the minute, there's no incentive really to go play it, apart from getting the highest score time-wise, and then it resets anyway at some point. So it's kind of pointless. I
don't know if they should have changed the exoticas, and I just, like I said before, I think they've missed a trick with no targeted loot, and then they've definitely missed a trick with no changing modifier. And yeah, I mean, the mastery system was a good idea in principle, but to me, it's on the wrong content. So I just don't think people will go back for it.
I'm surprised it feels so stale though, because like I match made and played it and I enjoyed it. And I thought, well, this would be so much better with people that, I want to play with. And it was the complete fucking opposite. Rob didn't want to play it. I think you were like, this is fucking boring. Luke wasn't there. You were, but you were muted.
I was like, after what you kind of sold it to me, Luke. And then, yeah. And then we played it, and within like a couple of seconds, I was like, yeah, this isn't fun.
No.
I mean, maybe it's our fault. Maybe only doing heroics and only doing the raid, and then, this week me and Rob have been quite lucky with the targeted loot that we've actually been getting some upgrades. Maybe we've just had like a really good experience in the division, and then you come back down a bit and it's just like, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to be bored again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's sad because like on the Kenley College, like the first area you can go to and the third wing of that area, I think that bit where you're basically holding down upstairs, is it in the exhibitions? I think that's like my favorite bit, just because it's like a horde mode and everything's kind of running at you. apart from that, I kind of completely agree with you guys this time. I was expecting more. I was actually looking forward to it, and then I jumped on and played it. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, so what I did. Go on, sorry, Rob.
The bit when we were defending the terminals was like, I even said it when we were doing it. It took far too long, like an extra 3 minutes longer than it should have done.
But it was too easy as well. If you're being honest, I put that on Hive. You were doing stuff, and then we didn't even have communication with Luke. So I'm wondering if the difficulty, if you could have it on heroic, whether that would I don't know, make it more challenging. It's not challenging. Is that it? I don't know. Even on challenging, I know you're trying to go against the clock, but there's no difficulty to it really, is it? Apart from you trying to beat a timer.
Yeah, maybe that's it. The challenge of it. Because, like I say, we've literally been doing everything we can on heroic, haven't we? Because, nothing else is worth the time. Because it is literally point and shoot, and you could literally not be looking at your screen, and you probably wouldn't die on any other difficulty but heroic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know.
Plus, I don't understand why you would put a time trial on and then have activities in that time trial that are locked to a certain time. Like there's a set time that takes to do those defending the terminals, right?
Yeah,
it's always the same.
Yeah, you can't beat it, so you can't get any quicker actually doing it. Also, is it the second wing of that is you've got to wait for the IEDs, so there's like a whole voiceover happening, and you have to wait. I think it's like 20-30 seconds for that whole thing to finish before you can actually start doing the next part. And it's like we just stood around waiting to do it, weren't we? And we're like, okay.
Doesn't feel like you're speed running.
No. Which is a shame. I mean, hopefully they do something with it.
I'll tell you what I did enjoy about last night, though. Camp White Oak, or whatever it's called, and invaded. I can't remember if you put it on heroic or not, but that was fun.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yes, that was definitely fun. And we wiped once?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure we didn't realize each other were dead.
Yeah, we were mucking around.
Yeah.
As we do when we get together and swear words start coming out and piss taking begins, and oh look, we're all dead again.
Man, maybe we should focus less on just ripping into each other and more on actually trying to complete the mission.
No.
Did you just tell me what to do?
All right, mate. We all got shit going on. Yes. I haven't said that for ages. Anyway, that's what we've been up to this week. Let's find out what's happening in the news.
State of the game.
Okay, so this week's State of the Game, Hamish was joined by Chris Gansler to discuss known issues and what is actually happening with the state of the game, and what they're going to do with communicating news and issues across in the future. Before we go into that, we'll just go very quickly over some of the things that's happening with Kenley College. There was an issue with the chapel. Some people could gain access to the chapel even though they'd finished the expeditions, but I also believe that was working the other way as well. Is that the case, Rob?
What?
You were able to access the chapel without completing the expeditions, which therefore gave you access to what?
Schloot.
Sweet Schloot. AKA the Diamondback. And then there's a Kenley College transport message. The issue you get is that there's a Kenley College transport available. It's still there once you basically load it in. They're looking into it. Everyone's favorite meta at the minute, Negotiator's Dilemma. I believe, Rob, did you put one of these builds together? You didn't.
No.
You said you were going to put one together.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. I did. I've never once said that.
You implied.
No, I didn't.
You did imply.
No, I didn't. I don't even know what the Negotiator's Dilemma does.
It gives you a grenade, doesn't it? When the enemy, is it a grenade from the enemy that's causing damage? You can fire a grenade at them.
Right.
Something along those lines. It's basically like gives you infinite grenades. So that's terrible if it's in the DZ and Conflict. It's not really a set you want to be running, is it? Anyway, they're changing it, so the blowback talent will be changed, and the grenades will no longer explode straight away, so it'll give you a couple of seconds to get out the way. And the user interface will probably get something along the lines of the pulse. You've been pulsed, so you know when a grenade's been launched at you, and yeah, it gives you a bit of time to react. That's pretty much it. Apparently there's an issue with special ammo in the ODZ. It's on the radar, but it was not addressed in this week's maintenance. Invisible walls. Anybody had any issues with NPCs over the last week? Didn't we get some dude stuck in a door we were trying to shoot at?
Yeah, but that happens a lot.
Just couldn't be bothered to come out the door. Yeah, they're basically looking into the issue. They just want feedback and footage, if you can, so they can replicate it themselves and fix the issue. Rob's favorite console, Xbox. There's not been any audio if you're recording on Xbox. Apparently, if you're capturing gameplay for Mixer and stuff like that, apparently the bug's been found and there is a fix ready in the next update whenever that drops. And free vanity items. There's about 72 items in the open world that you should get for free, but not all of them are dropping if you haven't got them all now. So you might have them drop again as duplicates in the future. As a heads up, boys. So
yeah, I think we all might be like, because I remember them talking about this on the State of the Game. They can't determine what's stopping people from getting the drops. Like some people have 35 of them, some people have 20, and some people have 72. It's just random.
Yeah, it does seem to be a bit all over the place. And something Rob called bullshit on before we... Was it Rob? Yeah, it was. No, it was Luke. Sorry. Rob's normally covering for you, Luke. Sorry, dude. But yes, apparently currently there is a 4-minute speed run on PC on the leaderboards for the raid.
Bullshit.
It's being investigated, boys, at the minute.
Sorry, I had a bad cough then. I know they have to be diplomatic and like not accuse anybody of cheating before they've looked into it, but I call bullshit.
Well, it's like I said to you, you literally have to fart on the NPCs and run away.
Yeah, it's not a legit time. I mean, I know they've done it under 10 minutes, but it would take 4 minutes to walk from one end of the airport to the other. That's
what I was just going to say. Literally, if you took all the NPCs out and just had the doors to open, surely that would take 4 minutes on its own.
Well, how long is it going to take if they run?
3.5 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up. That's fine. But basically, yeah, they're not... currently, they're not accusing anyone for exploiting a bug or cheating.
I am.
Just yet. However, if they do find that agents involved in the time purposely cheated or exploited, they will be punished. And when it's confirmed that the time is legitimate, they'll either leave it in or safely remove.
Is it all 8 players?
Well, I would assume it's all eight players.
Because like if someone disconnected and they kept going and then he reconnected.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was one of the things brought up on the State of the Game, that could be an issue. And apparently they've had people like cover for them as well. Not cover for them, but like basically say this was a legitimate thing. So if it is true, well done.
It's not.
I still call bullshit. Until somebody shows me a video of them doing it, I call bullshit.
I've seen like the fast runs that they've like videos. There's no way you can squeeze another 4 minutes out of that. Like, do you know what I mean? Okay, maybe a couple of seconds, but not 4 minutes. There's no way.
And there was a maintenance on Tuesday of this week. I'm going to hand this one over to Luke.
Yeah, there was, what they got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fixes, the most important of which, that fucking annoying Dark Zone perks available at the base of operations notification will now be removed from the bottom of your screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finally.
Yeah,
the amount of Reddit posts I've seen dedicated to that are insane.
You spent too much time on Reddit.
Yeah, you could have been looking at that warning notification on your screen.
Yeah.
Getting better sloot. Other issues they've fixed, there was a problem with the flares when you signal the flare remote animation and it was interrupted. That would apparently get stuck and clipped on agents' bodies. Fixed an issue that caused characters' faces to become distorted after cut screens. Fixed an issue where the social menu did not function when accessed in a down state. Fixed an issue where players were unable to share gear mods. Oh, that's a nice fix too.
They fixed that now, have they?
So it says here in green, dude.
I mean, disagree, but...
Well, this maintenance was today.
Oh, okay.
So...
Maybe then.
Yeah, it's not Tuesday, it was Wednesday.
So
it was today.
you couldn't share a gear mod yesterday, could you? But
No.
that's pre-maintenance, so we'll try that later. Fixed an issue where players that purchased the Year 1 pass were unable to activate the technician specialization in any world tier. Fixed an issue where the donation tabs from any projects that require gear items did not show the correct equipment. And last but not least, fixed an issue that would cause crashes when engaging enemy NPCs in co-op challenging difficulty at Lincoln Memorial.
Do it on heroic and then it might not be a problem if there's a heroic for it.
I mean, that's a big if. They fixed it anyway, so. But thanks for your input.
You're welcome. I like the fact that they fixed an issue where the social menu did not function when accessed in a down state in a pre-made group. It's like, okay, I'm dead. This group sucks. I'm out of here, but I can't message until I'm either revived or respawn. Or just the fact that you're in down state and you're like, you know what, I'm bored. I'm just going to like message random people in chat. Next up, there's going to be some changes to maintenance and potentially the state of the game.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So going forward, the Division 2 maintenance that currently takes place on a Wednesday, I believe, even though I said Tuesday earlier, is now going to be moving forward on a Tuesday, which is what I meant. And the Division 1 maintenance on a Thursday will move to a Thursday every 2 weeks if required. I'm pretty sure they needed that maintenance quite a bit when it was just that game, so I'd be a bit worried. Things were starting to get a bit janky over the past couple of weeks with the Division 2 when we didn't have a maintenance. I don't think we had a maintenance last week, did we? I'm getting shruggy shoulders.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Nor do I care.
You don't care about maintenance?
No.
You just want to play it, don't you? Squeaky. Okay, so big kind of news or topic from the state of the game today is they're asking the question, should they do a state of the game each week if there is nothing new to be communicated? Luke.
No.
And why is that the case?
Because what's the point? You know, I love the state of the game. We say regularly on here that we should respect the comm devs for what they do, and you know, if you push them too far, they'll just say, "Well, fuck you lot," and we'll just put out a press release every time we want to do a maintenance or give you some news. You know, a bit like a certain developer does with a certain game that shall not be named. Fuck you, Rob. But yeah, what's the point? I was talking about Bungie and Destiny.
Oh, all right. I was going to say, what the fuck did I do?
What's the point of doing a state of the game if they're literally going to sit in front of the camera and go, yeah, we haven't really got any news this week, guys, but we turned up because you keep moaning when we don't turn up, so we're just going to stare at chat and tell you all to shut up. You know, what's the point? People will stop watching it anyway, so then when there is news, there'll be nobody there to watch it.
I kind of feel, on the other hand, they've stuck it out for this long. I mean...
Yeah, but they've stuck it out for this long and they don't do it every week if there's no news, do they?
No,
they've just had 2 weeks off because they didn't have anything to tell us.
No, which is fair enough. I mean, they literally, Chris Gansler came on the State of the Game today and said, you know, guys, we're working on episode 3. You know, this
that was it.
That was it. That was today's State of the Game. Bye-bye. But yeah, they, you know, he came on and said, you know, stuff is being worked on. All the studios are going to be working on different things at different times. There's a raid in the works. We know there's a raid coming at some point, but that's not coming till next year. I can't see any news for episode 3 much before Christmas, if I'm being honest. I don't know about you boys. Can you see us getting any news on episode 3 before Christmas?
It's going to be
nice.
It's going to drop in January. I know that 100%.
What, episode 3 or the news?
Episode 3. Do you know how I know?
Wow.
Because on one of the side missions, there's like a banner that says "Return to New York, January."
Yeah, but that could be.
I've seen it too.
That could be literally the end of January. I mean, you're not wrong.
It didn't specify start of January. The annoying thing with this is these banners have been in the game the whole fucking time. And I'm not going to say nobody noticed, but if anybody noticed, I never saw them.
No, someone did notice. Like 6 months ago. Not 6 months ago, but like not long after the game was released.
Did these banners include the other 2 episode dates as well?
No.
I just wondered.
Well, we don't know. There might be in another side mission.
Yeah. But yeah, basically they're looking into changing the format, what they want to do with the state of the game moving forward. Whether it's just going to be talking about news, if they're even going to keep agent highlights on there, if they're going to have developer conversations on there.
I hope they do keep the developer conversations because I quite enjoy those. To be fair, I mean, I know they're going to run out of developers that have got interesting things to say eventually, but for the time being, there must be loads of people that still work at Ubisoft that are worth putting in front of a camera.
Yeah, well, they've been doing these developer conversations before the game even came out.
True.
It wasn't on live stream or anything, but in podcast format. I'd still listen to that because I remember going and listening to all the server information before the Division 1 came out and how they were trying to like put players together and running all the servers and what that meant for the players themselves. And that was just, it kind of explained a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that was happening. But I feel like it's been a while since we've had anything like that. I don't know. I know. Obviously, you have like Frederick's been on there, but it's been a while since we've had any just like random developer, and they've just come on to kind of talk about their job role rather than issues with the game or like why they've changed certain things.
Yeah, they should like reach out to some of the other studios, like Annecy and the one in Newcastle, and get someone from there. Each
Reflections.
That's it.
You know what? Red Storm would be a good shout.
They've had Terry and Keith on, like.
Yeah, but loads. That's to talk about PvP. What like
they didn't talk about PvP last time they were on.
PvP-ness, yeah. To kind of talk about what they're doing, but not why they're doing it to a certain degree, or like the thought that goes into it.
Because they get paid to do it. That's why they do it.
Yeah, obviously, but it would be nice to kind of have a bit more behind the scenes of like the brainstorming or like the reasons why they decide to go one direction instead of a different one, sort of thing. Choices made. Another thing that was talked about was I'm guessing a production roadmap. Was that said, Rob? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Would you guys be interested in that? And like, I would personally.
Yeah, I would. I think a roadmap's a great idea. Just be somewhat vague where dates are concerned.
Yeah, so yeah, obviously, but
stick to seasons, like coming summer 2020. Yeah, that'll do. That's fine.
Well, we can't
get mad when it doesn't turn up on the 14th of August, like you said it would.
The thing is, I imagine it a bit more than seasons. It's more like, okay, this is like January. This is what we're working on, and these are all the list of things that they're working on in that month and on the lead up to like the next update. I know, obviously, not a list of everything, but an idea of the things that they're targeting to either get in an update or bring forward into as content in the next update.
Yeah, when he said that, I didn't take that as like
it's not like a roadmap of like, oh, we're getting X content here and X here.
I thought I assumed it meant like a more in-depth view on how they get from A to B.
Well, I was thinking much more like a production flow system. Does that make sense? Yeah, literally what you're saying.
Yeah. Like they'd have to be pretty high level, like what they could tell us, I imagine, because it wouldn't better go into much detail, but it would give people a little bit of an understanding of
the time scale.
Yeah, what they do and how much work there is involved,
and why they can't just flip that big switch and press the survival button.
Yeah,
that may or may never be coming to the Division 2.
Oh, you're such a tease.
Can we have a minute silence for the survival, please?
No.
I don't know.
What do you know?
It's going to be interesting going forward, isn't it? Without State of the Game, though. For us,
if they decide to cancel
us.
State of the Game, what are we going to say on the podcast each week?
Same thing we talk about every week.
What, recap the State of the Game?
No, we don't always do that. Yes, we have more so in recent days, but like obviously when the State of the Game disappears, we kind of try and cover our asses a bit, don't we? I know we had that, what was it, 1 or 2 week off this year? 2 weeks off?
Yeah.
Our first break in how many years? 3 years? 4 years?
3 and a bit.
3 and a bit. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of with Luke. I don't want it to disappear.
No. I'd be really sad if it disappeared, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe have a week on, a week off.
Yeah.
Just do two a month. But, I mean, for it to disappear completely, I think it'd be quite a loss. I think the community would definitely then realise what they had. You know, that old saying, you never truly know what you've got till you lose it, or whatever the actual saying is. But I think if State of the Game was just to have the plug pulled on it, that people would realise very quickly that it was really good source of information when people stopped typing toxic shit in chat.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I was talking to someone today and they were like, holy shit, like these guys do a basically the week at Bungie every week.
Bungie?
I was like, Bungie, sorry. Every week, like what's happening in Bungie live. And it was like, we literally just get an article put out there, which is something they're obviously discussing about doing, about, you know, the things that come in maintenance, which they're already kind of doing anyway. So if there's any changes or mini updates during the week, that, you know, we get that as a post on the forums, Ubisoft forums. But it's like, holy shit, that's really good of them to do that, because Bungie put one out every 6 weeks, is it, Rob? They do like a live stream, or pretty much when there's new content coming.
Yeah, you tend to get a couple of live streams before and big content drop. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, look what the team have just been doing the last 2 weeks when they had State of the Game off. They did a stream nearly every day for 2 weeks solid, pretty much. Like George doing them, Hamish doing them, Elo's doing them, Amper does his Friday night streams still. I think Johan's been streaming again. You know, they've got no news to tell you, but they fill the quote-unquote void of State of the Game by putting 6 or 7 days a week's worth of streams together for you. Just so they've got a face in front of a camera to keep in touch with the community. Tell me another game developer that does that, because I don't know one that does that. Not to that sort of consistent level for 2 weeks solid anyway.
No, I would no, I can't think of any.
And especially not for a game that's, 8 months old already? I get it, like what Rob's just said, when new content's coming out or a new game's launching, yeah, great, get all aboard the hype train, let's, stick as many faces in front of a camera as we possibly can. They literally did it because they had 2 weeks of State of the Game off. It's like, quick, let's push some faces in front of camera so people don't lose their minds that we're not giving them information that we don't have. Cut the guys some slack, that's what I say. If they haven't got content to fill a State of the Game, don't force them in front of the cameras to sit there looking quite bored and wondering what to say next. Just take a week off.
Yeah.
Come up with some news for us and come back. Take 2 weeks off in a row if you need to, and then come back after a week. They
should just come up with a fictional section of the State of the Game where they just make up funny things that have happened in the game that aren't real.
I think there's enough salt in chat as it is.
Yeah, but obviously they would have like one of those banners where this is fictional. No? I think that would be funny.
I mean, you'd be the only one laughing, I assume. I don't know.
Maybe we could have a section on the show if they get rid of the state of game. I'll just create fake news every week.
This week in DC, an elephant was found roaming around fucking, I don't know,
Washington.
This week on State of the Game.
Roaming around a zoo. How about
someone was being
No.
pleasant in chat.
No, but you're right. If there's no news, like they shouldn't just do it for the sake of it anymore. I think those days are kind of over. I don't know. I feel like State of the Game is not what it used to be anymore. I don't know. It kind of feels like there's no real ownership. And I could be completely wrong on that, but like Yannick's gone. Hamish isn't involved in like the community side as much nowadays. Like somebody asked him whilst he was streaming this week, is there going to be a State of the Game? And he was like, I don't know. I'm not involved in this anymore because he's doing his Engon stuff. So like there's no one really in charge of it anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's actually does everything on that side of it, like what Hamish, Yannick, and Petter used to do.
I think that they're quite a loss as far as the State of the Game is concerned. I know they're still technically there, you know, because Hamish presents it and he does a great job of presenting it. When he's not there, you can notice, like, no offense to the people that take over when Hamish is on holiday or whatever, but the actual quality of the show goes downhill when Hamish isn't there as like the face of it.
Yeah, but I also feel bad for him because like he turns up and like I was listening to it at work and someone was next to me and it was basically like, does he not know anything about the game? I was like, yeah, he probably does, but he doesn't probably know the ins and outs of it because he's not on the community team. He's not involved in that side of it anymore. So he doesn't need to be as involved with the community questions and all the rest of it and the issues with the game. He literally turns up and he's doing a very good job of hosting something and asking the questions that technically need to be asked, but it comes off looking like he doesn't know. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't know what he's
playing devil's advocate, isn't he?
Yeah, which I think is really unfair because he does a really good job at it. But then at the end of the day, if there's no news, there shouldn't be. I don't know.
If they don't do State of the Game every week, what Hamish should start doing is training his replacement to be as good as him in front of the camera. But train somebody who is in the community side of the game on a like a day-to-day basis, because you know some weeks I don't get time to watch State of the Game and it's so easy to get left behind even on the podcast that we do. I'm sat here trying to read the script while you two are talking thinking fucking I don't watch any of this. I don't really know what to input next. So if Hamish is not around that community side of this game with so many moving parts as the Division 2's got, you know, he must be like secretly like inside he must be like a rabbit trapped in headlights.
Well, yeah, you've literally just been
State of the Game and just like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, that's probably what, you know, you get thrown into a situation, you have no idea what's going on. Oh, that's going on? All right, cool, that sounds good. And then you're like, you're literally, I can imagine it's on, well, it's you, spare of the moment, isn't it? I say bring back Petter. I
say bring back Petter or give it to George.
Give it to George, give it to Ella. It's like if those guys are there every week or give it to Chris. Give it to Chris to take over. I kind of feel like someone needs to take over and just grab hold of it that is involved a lot more nowadays.
And that's not slight on Hamish at all.
No, it's not.
You know, like we just said, I think he's great. I really do.
I just feel like if it's a situation where he's moving on to do something else, then it must be bad because they haven't found anyone as good as him, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it for this news this week. Anyone else want to add anything in before we go? We got another raid in this weekend. Hopefully, maybe. Question mark.
Hopefully. Yeah. If the maybes turn into yeses, we're at 7.
Okay. If I'm back from London.
We'll find one. You better be back from London.
I better be back from London. My wife's going to kill me.
It's your fucking idea.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't kind of your idea, I suppose, but
Is Rob joining us?
Yeah.
yes.
Have we got a confirmation? Have we got written confirmation of that? Because he's not been replying to our messages.
No, I've got verbal.
I just said yes.
I know, but I just wanted written confirmation.
You can't have written confirmation because we had a conversation whilst we were looting, whilst you weren't around.
All right.
Which I then forgot about.
It's like 8 p.m. That might be a little bit early for me. It's like, well, I did say ish. She's like, yeah, great. So he'll be around at like 7:15 or 2 minutes past because I know what Rob's like.
Fuck off. He'll be
I'll be on at 7:30.
Hey, whoa. Don't you stop slagging off other people for turning up late, mate.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
What are you on about?
Fucking 11:15 or whatever time was you rolled up on Saturday morning.
Are either of you going to play this new Star Wars game?
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Hold on a minute. I said to you 10 to 10:30. Just because you didn't relay that information on to anybody else isn't my fault. Yeah, that's your face.
Yeah, it's not bothered. You were late. We were waiting for you.
I had kids to deal with.
Whose fault was that? You weren't moaning about kids when you're having sex, were you?
No.
Oh, there you go then.
It'd be a bit weird if I was.
But,
Fucking kids!
what were you trying to say, Rob?
They're either you planning on playing the new Star Wars game?
Are you planning on
Yes.
playing it? Have you got Origin access, have you?
I'm going to buy it on Friday.
When does the game come out?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, makes sense.
Why would you buy it Friday? Why don't you buy it Thursday so you can preload it and play it Friday?
I mean, yeah, I probably will do that.
Yeah, you probably do that thing that Mike just said and you completely forgot about. But yeah, that's fine. I feel like this should be discussed on Patreon, so we'll leave the rest.
I just wanted to ask. Sorry.
I'd rather you didn't.
You didn't give me an answer. Are you going to play it or not?
Still not going to answer you.
My answer's no. I've got too much of a shit to play already.
Mike's going to wait till it's on Switch.
No. God.
Yes. Any other digs you want to give? Fucks you want to give? Mentions you want to give before we leave this week?
No, but I'm going to be a little bit self-indulgent as far as the three of us are concerned and the podcast. Because I found out this week that as of yesterday, which is Tuesday, so 182 episodes of SITREP Radio. Congratulations to you two, by the way, for sticking it out a lot longer than I did because I wasn't around for the first 30 odd. But across all downloadable platforms, including Spotify, the podcast is just shy of 163,000 listens thus far. So woo us. Just a bit of an update on shit, you know. I felt like being self-indulgent this week, and our editor went to a lot of trouble to find those numbers out for us, so thank you, Jarrett.
But yeah, also thank you to anyone that's ever listened to an episode of the show. It's hugely appreciated by all three of us. I know we often have issues conveying that across, but honestly, it is hugely appreciated.
Yeah, we're not very good at saying thank you for stuff, are we? And sounding sincere. I think that says a lot more about us three than it does anybody else.
Yeah, I think we're so used to being assholes to each other when we're actually trying to be nice. It's like, how do we do that?
Yeah, it was really weird. You guys were like being really soppy in Facebook chat earlier. I just felt like giving fingers to both of you.
Don't be fucking soppy. I was like,
telling
thank
you
you
off for being so soppy.
Oh, fuck you.
I'll be honest, I did start writing a sarcastic comeback to Mike, and I was like, no, he's being nice. I'll delete that for once.
I did the exact same thing.
I was just going to go to my...
Mike's just looking at us like...
No, I'm just waiting to see where this is going to end. I mean, I know Rob's itching to get off, but we're at like 45 minutes now.
I actually do have an itchy hand right now. That's really weird you said that.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I thought it was something else, but there we go.
I think the crying baby signifies end of podcast. So
end of podcast. So thank you, Eli, for joining me on this week's episode. Thank you to everyone who's listened over the last 163.
Whoa!
Listens.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are we skipping the end bit?
And this is the end. This is the final podcast.
No, it's not.
Imagine if he ended it. That's it. There's no forewarning. Bye, guys. We're out.
We've just convinced Hamish and everybody to not give up on State of the Game, but we quit. See you later.
Yeah, fuck you guys. You're not gonna be out. We're out first. Fuck you. Anyway, Robert.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Where can the listeners find us?
You can find us over at SITREP Radio. There.
You did so well last week. What
Let
happened?
me just start this again.
Did you have a stroke?
You can find us over at SITREP Radio. Just shush. You can find us over at SITREP Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as our personal accounts. Send any questions or feedback for the show to sitrep@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Discord. The link is in the show notes. You want to hear your thoughts on the news and topics we cover here. So be sure to leave a comment.
You're not wrong.
Just join the discussion at those places.
Topics.
Please.
It's like watching a child form its first sentence.
I hurt my brain.
The cat got on the bus.
Why would a cat get on a bus?
Because fuck you.
Oh my god.
Please
leave a review of the show using the podcast app of your choice. We really do enjoy reading them all. The feedback is excellent, and at the end of the day, it does actually help other people to find our show too and add to those lovely listener numbers. If you listen all the way to the very end of this podcast, you will hear all the juicy details about the other awesome shows that are available on the Mash Those Buttons network. Thank you!
Okay, so now Luke's finished flexing. We do live stream as often as we can, so if you're interested in dropping by and chatting with us whilst we play The Division and some other games, you can find us all over at twitch.tv/SITREP Radio. We've been SITREP Radio, folks, and we thank you as always for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Shout out to Luke's girlfriend that just joined the podcast there at the end. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sequence complete. Security protocols deactivated. Server data replaced and CPU destroyed. Terminating connection in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction